Welcome to 7:30. Tonight, a cash for visas scam and the thousands of migrants sneaking over Australia's borders.
I've been hearing 50,000 for many years now. People have paid up to $80,000 and they usually pay cash.
This is no time to pull the doona over our heads.
The major parties tweak their messages 5 days out from election day.
Save Medicare!
The biggest surprise of this campaign is how little things have changed since day one.
I'm very uncertain. I don't know what my future or the future of my generation holds.
And the aftershock of Brexit.
We've had a revolution against the political elite.
Tonight, we reveal the nation's hidden people smuggling scandal. It doesn't involve boat arrivals, but rather those arriving by plane and obtaining working or student visas. A former top investigator with the Department of Immigration has revealed visa fraud is rife and being ignored due to the political focus on boat arrivals. He claims corruption may even extend to the Immigration Department. Since last July, the department has referred more than 100 allegations to the nation's corruption watchdog. Nick McKenzie has this special investigation.
In a Melbourne hotel, a fixer in the underworld of Australia's corrupt trade in skilled and student visas is plying his trade. Over coffee with an undercover operative, the fixer explains he knows employers willing to create fake jobs for foreigners.
तो सुपरनेशन और टैक्स सारा भरते हैं काम भी करना पड़ेगा काम करने में तो
Extra पैसा देगा.
Hidden cameras record the conversation as the fixer talks about arranging false paperwork in exchange for cash.
बिल्कुल तो उसका क्या कॉस्ट है वहाँ से
I've been hearing 50,000 for many years now. And stories we have known, people have paid up to $80,000 and they usually pay cash.
Melbourne Indian community leader Jasvinder Sidhu knows the man shown in this covert footage filmed for 7:30. Last year, this same man messaged him on Facebook, offering him a stake in the visa scam scheme.
He said very confidently, in any industry we can get sponsorship and we just have to organize a payment. And he even offered me money. And he said for every case, I think $5,000 he was offering. It's 40 to 45,000 grand.
In a series of conversations, the visa fixer asked Jasvinder Sidhu to find new visa applicants among his friends and family back in India. The fixer would then arrange for a corrupt employer to provide the paperwork for a fake job and visa sponsorship.
They were offering multiple sponsorships in commercial cookery, in mechanics, IT as well, because he said his boss could arrange 457 in IT, information technology.
The visa scam came as little surprise to Jasvinder Sidhu. He knows of many Indians who've paid large cash sums to corruptly obtain skilled or student visas in an effort to get permanent residency.
I've been hearing it for 8-9 years, and the last time I heard was last week, when somebody paid $45,000 cash.
Now Sidhu is determined to expose what he's learned about Australia's immigration underworld.
These people will then create your fake timesheets, fake pay slips, and they will pay in your bank account, and obviously everything else will also be fake, which is superannuation and other related documents.
So you're paying for a phantom job, and in return you get your skilled visa?
Yes. So you are paying extra to get or create a job which doesn't exist, and to create a service which was never delivered, and you're getting permanent residency, which is not fake, which is a real output.
What really worries Jasvinder Sidhu is the human cost of the corrupt visa trade revealed by his contact.
I knew that he would be exploiting a lot of poor students or people who are looking to migrate, because these people, after paying $50,000, you just need to see the way they live. They live in 10 people in one house, they don't eat properly, and they do maybe work 18 hours a day. We have seen girls being raped by their employers, and we have seen people having injuries at work. For example, their thumb was cut, or they had other major injuries, and they did not complain. A girl contacted me, and she sent me her report. She was repeatedly raped at work, and she didn't speak out.
Because she was scared she would...
Oh yes, because permanent residency, I think, is a bigger incentive.
I can certainly see why people don't speak up. I've put myself in a position where I'm exposed as a result of clear misuse of the system.
Murphy Pipe and Civil's highly experienced and mobile workforce of more than 1,500 employees are guided by...
The rorting of Australia's immigration system has taken place on some of the nation's biggest mining and infrastructure projects.
These people aren't just here to work, they're here to get permanent residency.
For the first time, Clint Raven is speaking publicly about the hiring practices of his former employer, multinational construction contractor Murphy Pipe and Civil.
As a business, we were sponsoring visas for workers as project coordinators, project administrators, where that role didn't exist on our site, and these people were actually, their actual job was as a labourer on the ground.
He was shocked as he dug deeper into what appeared to be blatant visa fraud.
We would have employees be sponsored as quite a senior role, but be operating an excavator or working as a labourer. Many of these people didn't have the training even to operate machines when they came to the country.
Raven said he personally identified at least 30 workers at Murphy Pipe and Civil who appeared to be in breach of migration laws, and suspects there were many more, often aided by federal government licensed migration agents.
How were they getting away with it?
I don't know. I don't know. They were working very closely with immigration agents that were requesting they change resumes to suit a role better. And once
the migration agents were in on the scam.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. They were advising them on how they could get the loopholes.
Raven took his concerns to the Immigration Department and says they did not appear serious about dealing with the visa rorting. Murphy Pipe and Civil has been fined a mere $3,500 and banned from sponsoring more overseas workers, which Raven says amounts to a slap on the wrist. In a statement, Murphy Pipe and Civil denied deliberately rorting the visa system and said it was appealing the ban on sponsoring more foreign workers, as the ban was wholly unreasonable.
The issue is that Australians are missing out on jobs, and there are people jumping the queue to gain residency into the country off the back of a mythical labour shortage.
Has it been a hard decision for you to speak out?
Most definitely, yeah.
Why is that?
Well, effectively, I've got a young family, a mortgage like everyone else.
But it means that much to you?
It does, yes.
Jasvinder Sidhu is taking his own risks speaking out. He says there are organised criminals who work with migration rackets who may target him or his family back in India. But like Clint Raven, he too wants the system to change.
These people just get away, even if they're caught, media or otherwise through police and things, they just go on bail, and I think the system is very, very easy on these sort of things.
It's easy to rort.
Yes, very easy to rort. You have 10 ways to rort, and then if government has one rule, you have actually 10 responses how to basically bypass those rules.
The Australian Border Force has spent the last 12 months investigating criminal syndicates involved in visa rorting. But insiders say the problem is massive. One of the Immigration Department's top officials until 2013 has now broken his silence. He says visa rorting was and is endemic and has largely been ignored by politicians focusing on the boat people issue.
Joseph Patansky managed investigations for the department for 8 years. He wouldn't be interviewed on camera, but has given 730 a statement about what he calls the shocking and largely unknown fraud within our working and student visa programs. He describes a world of shonky immigration agents where fraudsters enter the community with ease. He points to immigration law loopholes, major integrity problems, and a department which has struggled to cope with such an attack on the integrity of our systems. Batansky blames a lack of funding and politics. He says it's been easy to deflect the public's attention to boat arrivals, but this fear-mongering has totally ignored where the vast bulk of real fraud is most significantly undermining our immigration programs.
Tonight, 7:30 can reveal there are corruption allegations inside the Immigration Department. Its chief, Michael Pizzullo, has referred 132 allegations to the corruption watchdog, the Australian Commission for Law Enforcement Integrity. They are just allegations, and the department disputes many of them. They raise the prospect that some officials are involved in the visa rorting.
Yes, there's a corruption from top to bottom. Thousands and thousands of people are being sponsored, and they're all fake. The whole system cannot work that smoothly if there's no corruption in the system.
Someone on the inside has to know.
Oh yes, definitely. Even if you do a bit of overspeeding, you are caught. But this is a huge corruption, huge level of corruption, and it is so widespread.
Nick McKenzie reporting, and that story was produced by Leslie Robinson.